Hey everybody, this is Mr. Hardcore Mode, where nothing is easy. Warriors and wenches, how y'all doing? And God bless. We have ourselves a little bit of news. Not a little bit of news, a lot of news. Because the developers from Massive Entertainment, which is Ubisoft studio, who have been working on, well, obviously, as you can see, Star Wars Outlaws. Now, Star Wars Outlaws, when it came out, it did two grievous things. One, the game's not fucking done. And then two, the main character does not look like the character that was, obviously supposed to be portrayed, in the game. They made her look like some sort of animatronic fuck-up doll. And it's a shame because the actual woman who is modeled by that character is quite beautiful. Which is a disaster. How could you fuck up in that sort of way? Well, we know why. ESG. Anyway, as we got some information, so this is from Hypnotic. As a part of our ongoing evolution and long-term planning, we have recently realigned our teams and resources to strengthen our roadmap, ensuring our continued focus on the Division franchise and the technologies, including Snowdrop and Ubisoft Connect, that power our games. You know what that means? It means we're going to focus on the Division, which actually makes us money, and anybody else, we're going to have to kick them out. So that's primarily going to be from Massive Entertainment devs who worked on Star Wars Outlaws. I like it when they give you ongoing evolution, long-term planning. They give you strength in our roadmap. I love it when they say that because you know exactly what kind of shit they're trying to spew. Let's continue. To support this transition responsibly, we introduced a voluntary career transition program, giving eligible team members the opportunity to take their next career step on their own terms, supported by a comprehensive package that includes financial and career assistance. Pack your shit up so you can get your pay, or we'll have to fire your ass. It's either one of the two. You can leave now and get a little layoff, get your credentials, get your have a good clean record, get some money on the side, and then leave, or we'll just fire you later. The choice is yours. I find this fucking hilarious. Massive Entertainment remains fully committed to our roadmap and to creating. By the way, they do not have a roadmap. You want to know why? Because that roadmap is always constantly changing. Do you think that they would have this fucking roadmap? Do you think it's possible that they would have this roadmap if Star Wars Outlaws was actually, successful? No. Absolutely fucking not. Oh, it's part of the roadmap. You mean you were ready to fucking... When you say roadmap, it almost sounds like regardless of whether or not the game sells or not, you were gonna lay them all off anyway. I'm like, god damn, what kind of roadmap? There's no roadmap. Everything is just put on random for Ubisoft. Okay, let's stop pretending that Ubisoft is actually, organized. They're organized to an extent, but not too much. Chris up. Massive Entertainment remains fully committed to our roadmap and to creating great experiences for players around the world, including the Division 2, the Division 2 Survivors, the Division Resurgence, and the Division 3. This is the first time I heard about Division 3, but okay. Division I liked, but I don't know. The story was lackluster, and the world looked pretty alright. The open world was pretty good. There was something there, but the story fucking needed help. It did. These projects continue with strength, focus, and ambition, and we look forward to sharing more in the future. Yeah, so Division developers stay in, you're good. Those the Star Wars Outlaws devs, pack your bags, and we'll pay you. I don't mean pack your bags and get the fuck out of here. That would sound mean. Now, of course, the reason why this is all happening is because of, well, let's just say it. It's because of game journalists. Game journalists like to do one thing and one thing only. Anything that comes out in AAA, they want all that information. They want first time access. They want to get all the access that they can first. The first people to get the access, and they'll be like, hey, you come to us to get the information. Hey, we're GameSpot, you come to us. And that's what they want. And that's all that they want. And then what did they say right after it? Oh, this game's gonna be great. This game's gonna be great. This game's gonna be great. And then you hear them talk about an indie game, and then they're just like, why is this game being sold by millions of people who like it? Well, why would we want to make a story about it? Why would we want to review about it? Oh shit, Hades 2? That game where they have a fucking guy, a god in a wheelchair? 10 out of 10. IGN did do that, by the way. So, it comes to a point where it's, to be honest, game journalists are allowed to just pick and choose which games that they want to, you know, sort of, you know, focus on. But I firmly believe they shouldn't be picking and choosing. I mean, I get it, AAA, but you also should focus on the AA and the indie games as well. It's always, oh, let's talk about Outlaw Stars. Okay, let's talk about Death Stranding 2. Oh shit, let's talk about fucking, wait, did I say Outlaw Star? I'm thinking of an old anime. Let's talk about Star Wars Outlaws. Let's think about, like, Death Stranding 2. Let's think about, like, what's the next big thing? Oh, Outer Worlds 2. Let's talk about Bloodlines. And I'm just like, you do realize that there are straight bangers out right now. Like, we got Escape from Duck-Off that's going crazy right now. We got other games. It took them a minute to actually recognize that Expedition 33 was coming out, because it was a funny moment where Expedition 33 like was a little bit late on game journalists' mind, because it wasn't a AAA developer and they were brand new. Sandfall, you know, Entertainment was brand new and they weren't sure. And then the trailer came out, everybody was excited, and then here comes these motherfucking game journalists, and they were just like, oh, we got a game to show you. And I'm like, who the fuck are you guys? It's like, who the fuck? Oh yeah, let's talk about it. I'm like, hold up. So it's always the game journalists that come out and focus on either AAA games or games they care about. For example, and also games that they also don't care about but are also widely known. For example, Space Marines 2. Space Marines 2 was widely loved by a lot of people, but for some odd reason, Screen Rant gave it a 68 out of 100 because too much toxic masculinity. Are you fucking kidding me? So, the reason why I bring this up is because Star Wars Outlaws came out, and you want to know who said that Star Wars Outlaws is a crappy masterpiece? It was people that got free early review codes and game journalists. They came out and said, oh, great game. Woo, great game. This is a great game. Get the game. Get the game. Great game. People got the fucking game and it couldn't fucking work. But for some odd reason, Kotaku comes out and calls Star Wars a crappy masterpiece. I didn't know that shit had a particular, you know, flowery honey taste. I didn't know that shit had a certain, you know, did we put some Old Bay on shit and gave it some extra zest to the taste? No! It's still shit. So why the fuck would you call it a masterpiece? I remember Carnage saying something about Bloodlines 2, where he was saying the game is fun, but he said that the gameplay, the combat was lackluster. And I'm like, Why would you say the game is fun, but the combat is lackluster? I don't know why people do this whole thing where they have to constantly be nice. It sickens me to my core. One type, Co-Carnage, is being nice. Game journalists are not trying to be nice. They just want to tell you what they feel so you can, buy the game, and then they go, see, we just got all these people playing your game. You're gonna provide for us next time? You're gonna give us, you're gonna give us, certain incentives? I'm just like, it's just like Synth Potato on Twitter, who keeps on gobbling up every fucking corporation out there saying, hey, Ghost of Yote, don't listen to those woke mobs. They don't know the Ghost of Yote is also Game of the Year. I don't know why they just go on every fucking game that is AAA or mostly AAA. Like, for example, I don't like Death Stranding 2. Some things I do like in it, but I don't like it. I don't like the storytelling. Death Stranding 1 was a little bit better. Death Stranding 2 seems like either a fever dream, and it seems unserious. It just seems unserious. It seems like, I don't know, Death Stranding 1 felt a little bit, more serious. But, obviously people like it, and that's just the way it is. But when it comes to games like Star Wars Outlaws, that was objectively not working, and it was horrible story with a shitty looking character, they come out and say this dumb shit. Let me see what other dumb shit that they've said about this whole thing. See what I mean? Star Wars Outlaws got to be the best looking game on the Switch 2. It's simply gorgeous. This looks like shit. This looks like hot dog water. This guy right here, Star Wars Outlaws was a great game. It had so much potential for more DLCs. If it had been given another studio, I'm sure it would have sold a lot better. Ubisoft is a doomed company. A guy with 2 fucking likes. This guy's just trying to slob on the knob of Ubisoft. Why can't you just recognize that people don't like the game? Fine, if that's what you want, that's what you want. And also, I want to add another thing. Just because the lighting is good does not mean the graphics are good. I don't know why they like to do this whole thing where it's just like, oh, look, it's so pretty. I get it, the lighting's great, but if you look deeper, you look at the game, it looks like straight hot garbage. I could say that even about Elden Ring. Elden Ring has great lighting, and it's a beautiful game. But if you look closely at all the little characters and the buildings and stuff, it's low graphics. Some things are high graphics, but most of the things are low graphics. Now here, it's a little bit different because Star Wars Outlaws was fucking broken when it came out. Anybody like broken games after buying a $70 or $80 game? Anybody like that? I don't like that. Do you like that? So you just get all these people. It's like, it's on the Switch 2. Look, it's on the Switch 2. By the way, who the fuck is gonna play Star Wars Outlaws on the Switch 2? Only these stupid ass niggas that want to just get hey, Ubisoft, check out what I'm doing. I'm representing you. You got on the Switch 2. I'm trying to represent you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. What score did IGN give Star Wars Outlaws? The safest fucking number in all time. A 7 out of 10. That shit came out broken. The main character is just wildly unknown. She's when she does close hand combat, people just laugh. I'm just sorry. When people see her, the main character, do like physical contact with a stormtrooper, with one of those troopers with her bare hands, we just giggle. We're just like, this chick just tried to punch one of the troopers with their bare hands and she actually succeeded. What the fuck is going on? The fuck is doesn't he have a fucking helmet on? Why is he affected? That's what I'm talking about. And then they add the fucking, ooh, look, she's got like a cute little axolotl animal. Nobody gives a fuck about that axolotl animal. You just added that character in for her to be like, oh shit, well, we can make some merchandise off that shit. Ain't nobody buying that merchandise. You set yourself up for, you want to know the funny thing is? I bet if I went up to all these individual people and that were like, yo, Star Wars Outlaws, oh man, I got all the stuff, man. Go up to them and ask them if they know any of the side characters. They could probably name one. The game came out, it was shit, it was forgotten. That's it. And that's why they got the layoffs, because nobody gave a shit about that fucking game. The only things that matter with Star Wars, mostly, is either KOTOR or Han, Luke, and Leia. When you introduce us to an ugly fucking character who has no motivation, she's just like, I just want to be a bounty hunter, I don't want to be a bounty hunter, with a cute little fucking animal and shit. Nobody's gonna fucking buy that. Did you know that Star Wars was a game that was mostly predominantly, it is predominantly a man, sort of interest? Yes, there's women. 20 to 30% of 30 to 20% is women when it comes to Star Wars, but most of it is men. Why did you deliver us an ugly fucking chick with the bronze chin, with an ugly fucking little dog axolotl character who had no feeling? Also, there's no lightsaber. Yeah, I get it. Blasters are cool and all this shit. But you are giving us, if you're going to give us no force powers or none of that shit, what are we doing? By the way, you want to tell me why The Last Jedi, or the game with the redheaded kid, what's it called? Jedi Survivor and shit, and The Last Jedi, why did those games succeed? Maybe it's because the story was better. It was more into the action sort of thing, and also it was a man who was a fucking Jedi warrior. And then we were like, boom, I'm hooked. He's the last Jedi? That's pretty interesting. That's cool. You've already piqued my interest. The Last Jedi? And he has to escape the forces from Darth Vader? That's so interesting. You gave us an ugly bitch and said, train your dog how to, distract the enemy while you come up behind them and hit him over the head with a pistol whip. That's what you gave us. And then when the game came out, not only is it coupled with the boring characters, we got a game that doesn't fucking work. We got motherfuckers out here clipping through the fucking ground and shit. That's why your game didn't sell. Somebody had to say it. I mean, we already did say it. Now this game's out and fully out, and everybody's just like, oh yeah, well, we knew. Oh, these motherfuckers coming out like, what happened? What happened? Motherfucker, this game's not for it. It's modern audience shit. I'm sorry. If you gave us an attractive character who didn't have a funny little creature on the side, maybe a little robot, a little robot on the side, Maybe some characters that are highly recognizable. If you want a female bounty hunter, she has to be attractive, and she has to have a backstory and a motivation to have her push forward and give us a sense of, ooh, what is she going to do? But you didn't do that because your writing team and your whole dev team are fucking lazy and trash. You want to know how I know this? Because they're all getting fucking laid off. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say about Massive Entertainment. Put the fries in the bag, by the way. Welcome home. Fries in the bag, please.